Good morning. My name is Kevin Burt with the Department of Workforce Services Unemployment Insurance Division, and we're doing our weekly briefing on the Utah's unemployment insurance claims, and this is for the week of October 18th through October 24th. And so what we do is every week we report out on the unemployment claims seen by the Unemployment Insurance Division, and I'd like to start with just some of the numbers. The week ending October 24th, we ended with 3,993 new claims. For a little bit of perspective, last week that number was 4,264. So overall, it is down last week compared to the week before about 6%, and we've seen an overall decrease in new claims now for 2 consecutive weeks. However, it's also important to understand some context when it comes to nearly 4,000 claims. Last year, calendar year 2019, the average number of new claims the Unemployment Insurance Division took was around 1,100. So we're still at about 4 times more claims per week than we were in 2019. But 2019 was certainly a different economic climate. It was one of the lowest claim volumes that we took in history. And then, of course, this pandemic resulted in a significant disruption, and we've seen the highest number of claims that we've taken in history. It is important to note when you're looking at unemployment claims, the new claims, we are expecting soon a seasonal increase. Unemployment insurance does have a seasonality to it, in that there are individuals in certain industries that can work during certain climates, but then are unable to work during the winter seasons and have traditionally applied for unemployment insurance. So we are expecting an increase in claims as a result of that, and of course as this pandemic continues to be as disruptive as it has been. Overall, traditional or the state benefit, new claims was down 4.711%. The pandemic unemployment assistance, which is the temporary federally funded unemployment for the self-employed, new claims for that remained relatively the same, only went down less than 1%. And then the extended benefit, which is also a temporary federal funds for an additional 13 weeks, went down by about 14%. Another indicator that we often go over every week is continued claims. Remember, unemployment, an individual applies. That's what we just reviewed. A new claim just saw disruption to their employment. Continued claims is individuals that are on the benefit and continue to request the benefit, meaning they have not returned to work. Continued claims have been down now for 25 consecutive weeks. We ended last week at 32,869. Overall continued claims from last week compared to the previous week were down about 5%. But again, for some context, last year we averaged about 8,900 claims a week. So again, continued claims is also about 4 times higher now than it was last year. The state claim was down for continued claims, was down 6.6%. Pandemic unemployment assistance, or the self-employed, continued claims was down 4.1%. That pandemic or self-employed has also been down for 14 consecutive weeks on the continued claim. And then the extended benefit remained relatively the same, again, down less than 1%. And to date, the Unemployment Insurance Division, actually since March 15th, when we saw an increase in claims, so over the last 32 weeks, we have taken 329,187 applications. For comparison, last year, the Unemployment Insurance Division in an entire year took 63,000. So we have taken about 5 years of claims over the last 7 months, and to date we have paid $1,576 million in benefits. This last week we paid out about $12.5 million in benefits to eligible Utahns. And before we go into any questions, I did want to talk briefly a little bit about some escalations or questions that I've been getting. We're trying to explain the unemployment trends, but also the unemployment program. And one of them relates to the 26 weeks. And we're going to be a little bit of a policy Peter here because we're going to dive into what 26 weeks means. Whenever we talk about 26 weeks of unemployment, we will usually and try to say up to 26 weeks. It's important to understand that unemployment insurance is up to 26 weeks. So when an individual first applies, or when you first apply for unemployment, what we will do is we will look at the last 5 quarters of wages and do a monetary calculation. In that monetary calculation, it will factor in how much you've earned and how much you have been working to determine how many weeks you're eligible for and how much per week. And that is the number of weeks for which each individual is eligible for. So when you first applied, you received a monetary decision that says you are eligible for up to 26 weeks, but it will be very specific and will say you're eligible for 18 weeks or 26 weeks. Some of the escalations that we've been getting is, wait, I did not receive 26 weeks. And as we've researched those, it's because the individual is not monetarily eligible for the 26 weeks. And what that means is an individual did not work consistently over the last 5 quarters. If you've worked consistently over the last 5 quarters, many individuals would be eligible for the 26 weeks. It's also important to understand the 26 weeks is the national norm. 40 states have the max number of weeks an individual can receive unemployment at 26 weeks. Only 2 states have a slightly higher when the unemployment rate goes up to 28 weeks. 8 states have actually decreased the number to be less than 26 weeks, including 1 state that only offers unemployment for 12 weeks. So again, as you do that monetary calculation, as you first apply, it's really important to understand that it's up to 26 weeks. And what that'll do is it'll help you understand how long you have this assistance available to temporarily support you as you continue to actively participate and try to re-engage back into the workforce. And then keep in mind that 13-week extended benefit is available, but only through the end of December. And also keep in mind the pandemic unemployment assistance, the self-employed, is also capped at 39 weeks. And that is also expires with the CARES Act on December 26th. Again, unfortunate news, but there certainly are limitations with the unemployment insurance program, and we want to make sure that we actively communicate those limitations so that people can respond accordingly and act accordingly, knowing that this is what unemployment is and its limitations. And with that, I'll go ahead and open it up to any questions. Okay. And so the question is, okay, we've talked a lot about the program limitations and how many weeks a person can receive unemployment. And it is, and we discussed last week, people are exhausting those benefits, meaning they've received the max number of weeks they can receive in unemployment insurance. And they may still be unemployed. And we continue to see the pandemic be very difficult on the state of Utah. So what is available to them? Remember, unemployment insurance is not an income-based program. So it does not factor in how much income are you making and then determine month to month or week to week how much you can receive. It's a single monetary calculation that is done on historical wages that you make a claim against, and then it says the monetary calculation will determine how much you're eligible for. Many of the other safety net programs are income-based. Meaning if you are low in income or seeing a reduction in your income or take a job that pays less than what you were paid prior to the pandemic, those programs are a way to supplement some of those losses or income in other ways other than unemployment. At the Department of Workforce Services at jobs.utah.gov, it's a kind of a single door approach where individuals can get access to multiple safety net programs, including the SNAP benefit, which is the food assistance, medical assistance, CHIP for children. You have child care assistance, which can help offset some of those child care costs as you return to work and supplement there. You have heat assistance, you have housing assistance. And so what will happen is the unemployment insurance program has been available and had a stimulus benefit on top of it with the CARES Act, but it has started to exhaust. It started to become not as available as we are 7 months into this pandemic. And what we strongly encourage is if you continue to or remain unemployed, or if you continue to see a reduction in hours, or if you've taken a job again with less wages, certainly apply for those other safety net programs because they may be able to supplement some of those losses. Look, we understand this pandemic, the numbers have continued to grow. And it comes across incredibly cold as we talk about the limitations of the unemployment insurance program in the middle of a health pandemic. But we also think it's really critical to explain what the limitations of the unemployment insurance program are so that people are not surprised when those limitations come up and they exhaust the benefit. We are 32 weeks into the pandemic when a lot of people saw an increase or saw the disruption and first applied for unemployment insurance. The max number of weeks an individual can receive is 39. It does not appear nationally there is going to be an additional stimulus benefit anytime soon. And so what we are still strongly encouraging is individuals looking for opportunities within the markets that have proven to be resilient, and then seek help with the other safety net programs to help supplement some of those losses of income. So the processing time. And that's a good question as well. And so the processing time remains the same, and we continue to communicate that. When you first apply, we are making eligibility decisions within 30 days on over 90% of the claims. And remember, once an individual is determined eligible, if they are determined eligible, it will go retroactive. One of the things that does help is to understand that the individuals responding to the calls that are coming in asking about the status of the claim are also the individuals that are used to process those claims. Unemployment insurance doesn't require a call. If we have questions about your claim, we will proactively contact you to resolve those questions. And so calling, we're trying to find that, again, that balance between responding to calls, but also processing those benefits. But no, we've continued to stick to that 30-day time frame. Throughout the pandemic, we continue to process over 90% of claims within those 30 days. There are certainly outliers when it comes to questions about their claims, questions from their employers, and things like that, but 90% of claims are processed within 30 days and are paid retroactively. And with that, we've also invited Nate McDonald. He's going to focus on some of the economics. He is the Assistant Deputy Director at the Department of Workforce Services, as well as the Communication Director.
Thank you, Kevin. I want to just provide a brief update on a few additional programs that the state has, and also that the Department of Workforce Services has. One thing I wanted to add on to what Kevin mentioned about some additional programs, one that we encourage people to take advantage of right now that we have funding for from the CARES Act is rent relief. And if you are someone that is having a difficult time with paying your rent, this is a program that is available for you between now and the end of the year to help assist with rent relief. Encourage you to go to rentrelief.utah.gov and take advantage of this program that is available to you to help you with your rent for pretty much this month or in the remaining months of this year. So it is income-based, but those who are struggling as a result of the pandemic, this is definitely one tool out there to assist you right now in your time of need. I wanted to just provide a brief update on some of the job activity that has taken place in our state as well. We've seen some great movement over this last week with some of our industries and employers coming forward and posting jobs. We do know that there are jobs available. We know that though there are still quite a few people who are unemployed and needing support from a job standpoint. And so though it's definitely a competitive time right now for job seekers, we do know that there are opportunities out there, and our message that we just want to continue to share is because of the challenges and the temporary aspect that Kevin's just talked about with unemployment and the time limits that are there, we encourage people to, if they aren't able to find work in their existing employment or in the industry that they've worked in, to start considering the other opportunities that are out there in other industries, and to consider taking a job in those other industries even if it's a temporary job, just to get them through right now. The benefit of working is still greater than what you would be receiving from unemployment in most cases. And so we encourage you to definitely do that. Let me highlight a few industries where we've seen some increase in jobs right now. The Department of Workforce Services, if you go to jobs.utah.gov, you'll see a hot jobs button, and you click on that. These are jobs that we have been talking directly with key industries where we're seeing growth in job opportunities right now. And we've asked them, what are the hot jobs in your industry right now you're hiring for right now? And this web portal is designed to connect you to what those opportunities are. We have industry, information technology, finance and banking, construction, health, manufacturing, life sciences, and advanced manufacturing. And then also an other tab that's kind of our catch-all with some other hot jobs that we see where employers are hiring for. In that web portal right now, we've seen a great increase of finance and banking with over 340 jobs posted there. Our health industry has a lot of needs right now. You've heard that message coming from the state and from the hospitals and our care centers. There are great need for certified nursing assistants and nurses and other tech assistants in the health and medical industry. And we have just nearly 1,000 jobs posted just in our hot jobs web portal. And we've also seen an increase in jobs being posted in manufacturing and advanced manufacturing. So we encourage you to go out there. Just in our hot job portal, we have over 2,300 jobs, but that's just in that. If you go into our portal and you don't find what you want, just go into our advanced search tool and clear it out, and you'll be able to find that there's more than 30,000 jobs, and some of those jobs are telecommute jobs that you can start searching through. So there are jobs out there, but we know it is a competitive time, and we just encourage people to continue to look, don't give up, and take advantage of the opportunities that are out there. One of those opportunities is today. We have a virtual job fair that begins in the next 10 to 15 minutes. This is a great opportunity for you to log into. There are more than 100 employers that are participating with over 1,000 jobs that they have open and they're trying to fill. It's a great way to build, virtually connect with an employer and find a potential opportunity today. And so we encourage you to go to jobs.utah.gov. If you just scroll a little bit down, you'll see a button for our virtual job fair, and you can register and participate and connect with employers that are looking for people today. So we encourage you to take advantage of that. The last thing I wanted to just bring up is that there is a tool and a program that is out there, and we'd like to see more employers take advantage of it if it is needed. It's the Small Business Quarantined Employee Grant Program. This was something that was announced a few weeks ago, and we're with these rise in case counts. We know that more employers are being impacted with employees needing to quarantine or isolate as a result of either an exposure or a positive test. This program is designed to help employers, particularly small business employers, so employers with 50 or less employees, to be able to still pay the wages of their employee that needs to quarantine or isolate for that time period. The employer would get reimbursed for the wages. This is an important tool to help ensure that spreading doesn't take place in the workplace. And it allows you to build to, because one of the main reasons we're seeing is people need to work. They need that paycheck. And if they have to isolate or quarantine and not take the risk of not getting paid, that's a challenge for them. So this is a way to help eliminate that challenge. So employers could definitely encourage and ensure that their employees quarantine and isolate when they need to, but then also still get their wages covered in that time period. So again, encourage you, any small business employer, to go to the coronavirus.utah.gov website, click on the business resource page, and you'll find a link there for financial resources. And that program, again, is called the Small Business Quarantined Employee Grant Program that's ran out of the Utah Labor Commission. And with that, we'll take a question or two. Thank you. The question is for employers that may that want to participate and take advantage of the virtual job fairs and also post jobs with in the Hot Job web portal. What is the pathway for them to do that? What we encourage you to do is to connect in with your local Department of Workforce Services Employment Center. We have workforce development specialists that are designated throughout the state and every region of the state to assist employers in connecting. You can go to jobs.utah.gov and also just click on the employer page, and you'll find the resources to also help you to post jobs in that area with our job tool. But then also you'll be able to find your contact in your area, and we can help connect you into participating in our virtual job fairs as well. We do them once a month, and we have them scheduled out into January. And so those are definitely something we encourage all employers to take advantage of right now at this time, so we can help you out and assist you with your job needs, hiring needs, and also the other programs that are available to you. And with that, we'll end this briefing. Thank you very much.